You can't let the most violent, vicious country in the last 50 years have a nuclear weapon, because the Middle East will be gone, Israel will go first, without question, and they'll certainly take a shot at us before we get our act together.
This is yesterday in this version of America. A look at what actually happened yesterday, Monday, March 16, 2020. Yes, it's See, by Monday, the war had entered its 17th day. President Trump spoke to reporters at the White House and offered new justification. He said, "This war is what would have been nothing. We did a great thing. Anyone who supports a nuclear-armed Iran has something wrong with them." He didn't say we're winning. He didn't say they're defeated. What he talked about was a war that would have been nothing left. A language wasn't about what happened. It was about what would have happened. A future that never arrived. See, would have been is the key phrase. It's counterfactual. It's unprovable. It's a war fought in the conditional tense, judged not by its consequence, but by a disaster that didn't occur. We did a great thing, he said. That follows naturally. If you accept that the alternate was destruction, then anything short of that is success. The tone was an assessment. It was a presentative gratitude, a preemptive gratitude, thanking yourself for a catastrophe you avoided by acting. That's why we created Badlands Ranch Superfood Complete. So let's pull that apart for a second here. This is how wars become impossible to question. You stop defending what happened and start defending what didn't happen. Would have been nothing left. Can't be proven wrong. No one can point to a nuclear Iran that doesn't exist and say, see, that would have happened. The pattern is consistent. Declare victory over a future that never materialized, and no one can argue with the results. No, there's no TVs in the room, but the view. But reality always shows up. I guess I want an experience. It shows up anyway. 13 American service members dead, more than 200 wounded. The Pentagon requested additional $200 billion from Congress. Gas prices hit $3.70, up from $2.93 before the war. And Iran's foreign minister desired seeking a ceasefire. No, we never asked for a ceasefire, and we had never asked even for negotiation. The Iranian government renewed its warning to U.S.-linked industries in the region. These industries will be targeted in the coming hours. A war that would have nothing left somehow cost $12 billion, 13 lives and counting, a future that never happened, required a present that very much did.
I want to do something fun for Sarah. You know, she's a big romantic.
See, the contradiction here isn't between statements, it's between tenses. One conversation is in the conditional, what would have happened, what could have been. Another conversation is in the present. Dead Americans, wounded soldiers, rising prices, ongoing threats. The conditional can't be disproven. The present can't be ignored. But the present is harder to watch, easier to look away from, easier to trade for a story about a disaster that didn't happen.
Cheers.
Number 7, why this matters. This matters because prevention is the hardest thing to measure. If you stop future disaster, no one sees it. No one thank you for it. No one can prove it would not have happened or would have happened. So you have to describe it. You have to make it vivid. You have to say nothing's left in World War III so people feel grateful what they didn't experience. But the gratitude has a cost. The cost is 13 dead. The cost is 12 billion and climbing. The cost is region on edge and a war that keeps going. And the question is this: would the future you prevented have been worse than the present you created? No one can answer that. No one can prove it either way. That's the genius of the conditional tense. It asks you to trust the teller. And if you trust the teller, you stop looking at what actually is there. Number 8, the question. So here's the question yesterday leaves behind. I've watched this before. The language shifts to the conditional. Would have been, could have been, might have happened. War defend not by their results, but by disasters that never arrived. And it works for a while. People feel relief. They feel gratitude. They stop counting the cost because they're told the cost would have been worse. But the cost is still there. The dead is still dead. The wounded are still wounded. The money is still spent. So here's what I keep coming back to. When President Trump said this was a war that would have been nothing left, how do you measure that against the 13 families have something left? Who have something left? Namely, an empty chair. That's yesterday.